Gotta crack my back like a drum. Stretch those legs till like, no, it wasn't very good. You know what else isn't good? This show. Cue the intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Idiots Rolling Dice, episode 9 of the Epic. I am your Dungeon Master, Mimic the Idiot, guiding us through this wild and zany journey we got going on here. And I'm joined today by my friends. Starting first today with Mr. Jimmy.
Whoa, cue the intro. I didn't know I was first. Anyway, Jimmy here, playing Jade Dragonborn. A stealthy ranger who's still missing shots, but you know, I'm having fun with it. I'm glad to be with my friends playing again this week. Let's have some fun, guys.
Next up, Mr. Play to Fool.
Hello, I'm Play the Fool, playing losing my voice and playing Jade Dragonborn. Self-taught wizard trying to adventure with his newfound friends and not die in the process, and wondering what's going on with his family now that he refound his sister.
Ooh, and next up, playing somebody we have yet to meet, Mr. Vex.
What's poppin'? I play Vix. I play Vex. Wow. Yeah, me. I play myself.
Official actor of myself.
Yes. I mean, I'm always acting. Am I right? All right. Now, we'll find out who I play soon enough. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. So last time was a little rough. Our heroes made their way to Thebes. After avoiding a shakedown at the gate, they learned that the former king Oedipus was no longer in power, and that in conjunction with all the displaced soldiers returning home, Thebes had been plunged into a state of turmoil with all the political and societal conflict. Jack searched around for answers about his new trident, eventually leading him to a suspicious priestess who revealed to him that the only way to break the curse was to return the trident to hell. After getting a rest, the gang searched for ways to get to hell, leading them to seek out Ares' help in finding the queen of Hades herself, Ms. Persephone. However, the god of war didn't take the backtalk from some of the party well, and Jax was dragged in chains to a secret hideout. The remaining party went back to Thebes in search of any information to help find Jax. However, the bounty on them from Athens had caught up with them, and an assassin began chasing them throughout the city. So, for starters, Daisy is running late tonight. Her baby's having some issues, so we will be starting without her. Hopefully she can join throughout the session. Slow it down, breathe. Those are all going to be good things for me right now. But where we last left off, Talia, Jade, and Demetrius and Boxy were all being shot at by an assassin of some kind through like open air library type thing. Demetrius had just seen his sister, who he hadn't seen since she left for the war, and she told him to get to the free city on the northern edge of Boeotia. You guys made your escape out of the immediate danger of the assassin, and you, Boxy, the three of you and Boxy tucked into like a abandoned building, run down, waiting for your next move. So here we are, and Boxy's like, guys, we're gonna have to get out of this city. This is not gonna be good for us the longer we stay here.
Yeah, I really don't want to get shot anymore.
I think not getting shot would be really, really helpful for most of our health.
I have to agree with that.
So, I mean...
So,
go ahead.
With the mercenaries after us, I'm sure they're guarding the front gate, so there's nowhere we're just walking out of the city.
Go ahead and make an insight check for me.
Maybe if I can keep it on my desk. Insight. 9.
9. You don't know for sure. The one thing you did over here, or like you kind of know in general, is that like Athens, specifically Athens and Thebes, are not on the best of terms. So like you don't know for sure if they're gonna have the front gate blocked because an assassin from Athens is here for you, or you don't know if this guy is acting alone. There's just a lot of uncertainty around here. Jade, how about you go ahead and give me a insight or history check too?
11 insight.
So same kind of thing that Demetrius learned, is it's you don't know if their position is acting alone or acting with a group of the guards throughout the city. And since you guys have that uncertainty, there are a couple things you think you could maybe do. You like, obviously from coming into the city, it's run down. There's a lot of crime here. So you could find some unsavory characters to, maybe help smuggle you out. You also know that like you overheard from Talia talking to some of the people earlier in the day or yesterday, that a lot of people think relatively highly of King Creon, the current king of Athens. And like I said, Athens and Thebes are not on great terms. Or you could just try to get out of the city.
Maybe we should get out of the city, guys.
Well, I'm definitely for getting out of the city, but are we just going to like stroll out of the city, or are we going to try to find like a way that would be safer for us and hopefully avoid conflict?
Hopefully get out of here without getting conflict. If at all possible.
And Boxy kind of speaks up. He goes, I mean, most assassins just try to get in and out, right? Like, you don't know if it's really a, I mean, those guards that we saw at the front gate, they're fucking morons. Any good assassin is probably not going to work with those idiots. And if they do, if those guys try to stop us, we can stop them. We can stomp the fuck out of them.
Really not the guards at the gate that I'm worried about. I'm worried about if the guy that's shooting arrows at us is working with a team that has the front gate guarded.
We could take a look.
We could. At this point, do they know that Boxy's with us?
You don't know off the top of your head. Like, the guards probably saw you come in with Boxy. But like, Boxy's also like a sort of shape changer and has some additional talents. I mean, can literally just become like the shape of a box.
Okay, and the building that we're in now, is it safely hidden enough away that like Jade and Talia would be safe here if they were left alone?
It's a decrepit building in a city full of decrepit buildings.
So it's like a needle in a haystack kind of deal.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the burning buildings, that we find everywhere.
Yeah.
Or the destroyed buildings we find everywhere.
Yes. Alright, so here's what I'm thinking. Boxy can shapeshift into anything he wants.
Not
can
anything.
disguise
I can't
myself.
shape
Yeah.
into anything.
But like you can change your form.
Yeah.
And I can disguise myself. So why don't we do that? I'll disguise myself, you shapeshift into slightly different humanoid figure if that's possible, and we'll go see what's going on in the front gate.
Okay, yeah. Boxy, he like opens his head back up, puts the mask he had on in it, puts a different mask back, or puts a different mask on. He says, or like I could just be a box that you carry too. That could work.
That would work
Kind
too,
of like
yeah.
a suitcase.
Yeah, so he just like shapeshifts into like a fucking little crate. And it says, "Hi ho, Silver."
Alright, so I disguise myself as just run-of-the-mill normal human, and pick Boxy up and start walking towards the front gate.
Okay, give me a stealth check with advantage, please.
Oh, that's that is going to be a 6.
6. Okay. So you guys, I mean, you're a human carrying a box, a little crate, through a little kind of market district. You guys, you make it unaccosted to the gate. Sort of. What you can see immediately is like you get to the main entrance of the city that you guys come in and out of a couple times so far. Looks like guards are just standing there doing their normal thing. It's not the same crew that came in or that was there when you guys came in yesterday, so it looks like there may be a shift change. Maybe those guys are on lunch. So it's different group of guards that haven't seen you before. You haven't seen them before. And I mean, people are coming and going relatively easily. Give me perception checks, though.
I'm rolling great today. 11.
11. Boxy add this project perception. Oh, he has a lot.
7.
So Jade, you and Talia are kind of like back in a hiding out while Demetrius and Boxy go on the stealth mission. But you don't really see anything suspicious while you're kind of like keeping a watch out for like back at where you are. But the Demetrius, you don't really see anything out of the ordinary. And Boxy kind of pipes up. He's like, I mean, everything looks pretty normal up here, to be honest. I know I've looked around. I've cased plenty of joints in my life, and I know escape routes and stuff. But I think that assassin might have just caught with the bounty and tried to take us out on or try to take y'all out by himself. I don't know. Nothing. Boxy basically indicates that nothing seems out of the ordinary up here.
Okay, so we would seemingly just be able to stroll out the front gate. I'm gonna head back to the building and let Jade and Talia know that.
Okay.
And I think that maybe that's our best bet, is just like hightail it out of the city and try to get to the free city.
Okay. Jade, how do you feel about that? Just hightailing it out of here.
I agree with him.
Okay. So we're gonna need another stealth check. Demetrius, you can still make it with advantage. Talia does very good.
8.
14.
14.
At least I rolled in double digits that time.
Well, the good news is Talia and Boxy both beat a 20. So as you guys are like walking back, or like kind of like ducking in and out of these alleyways through the city, like as you guys are leaving, somebody from yesterday pipes up, is like, "Hey, that's the lady that shit out a snake." And it's like, oh fuck, there's a dragon. But then like some commotion starts to like attract, but the guards are not fast enough to get in your way, and you guys are able to get out of the city, seemingly. So you guys make it out. Boxy has given your Jade, Smacky, your friend from the service, like kind of told you where this free village was, and Jax, after talking or in all the communications yesterday, it got passed along that the village here is kind of like it's kind of on like the northern border of Boeotia, in like the shadow of these like mountains thing, nearby the adjacent province, which is Focus. Focus is the next province over, which is actually the province or region where Delphi is located, and that next province over. So you guys would be heading a little north into the west, around another large lake, to get there, if that's what you guys want to do.
I'm gonna say this is definitely the best plan for now.
I agree on that.
Get to that city and hopefully we'll be safe there.
Hopefully. Okay, so it's about a half day's walk from where you guys are currently. Would anyone want to search for like supplies or do anything else while you're making your way out there?
Well, what would we be able to find, like, other than the obvious things for, like, Demetrius and Talia and their spells, which they always look for anyway.
Yeah, so Talia looks to like forage for some food and stuff, doesn't really find anything. As you guys have kind of had like a whirlwind last few days, realistically. And all are pretty fucked up going on here. I mean, you can look for food, you can look for like supplies for potions, or just like anything out of the ordinary.
I think that'd be a good idea, just to keep our eyes open for anything that might just seem odd.
Okay. Go ahead and give me perception checks.
That's a good one. 22.
22.
Great.
So Jade, you don't really find anything. But Demetrius, you go as Talia is kind of like scavenging for like foods and stuff. Demetrius, you find some berries that you know Talia can make into a health potion. So Talia has the ingredients to make another health potion, basically. Now, then Boxy kind of pipes up again. He's like, "How long ago did they put that bounty on you from Athens? Or like how long ago was it? Were you guys in Athens?" It's been like 3 days.
It's been like a couple of days.
So, I mean, Thebes is like the nearest big city to Athens here. Like, so they'd be the first ones to know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the good news is probably the further north we head, the less chance there's going to be that people are going to try to kill you for gold, you know, at least early on. But you know, I guess that's a good thing. But it's something you guys are going to have to be on the lookout. It's probably not the last assassin you guys are going to have to face. We're going to have to face. So I want to keep you guys alive. You guys are fun.
I want to keep me alive too.
Survival instinct is very important.
Well, like, who wants to be dead anyway?
Some people, maybe. I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to be dead.
But, you know, okay.
You know, I don't want to be dead until I can break my curse. And I'm sure you guys don't want to be dead until you can stop this big, messy, evil thing. Right? At
Most
least.
definitely.
And then have, like, long, happy lives being celebrities and saviors of the world afterwards.
Sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
There was also one other thing. When we were looking around the library, I noticed, we learned that Ares had spent a lot of time in, like, Boeotia and shit, and, like, he killed the fucking, or, like, the, kind of where Thebes was, like, where a monster of his was slain, right?
Uh-huh.
But I did pick up that he spent some time, on a mountain just outside of Delphi, or not too far outside of Delphi, when he was a boy. So if he has, like, a secret hideout place, maybe it's there. I don't know.
As good a place as any to start.
Yeah. But, I mean, Demetrius, it must be, like, fucking... You said you saw your sister, right? You guys have been, like, walking for a couple hours now.
Yeah, she was in the library.
I wonder what the fuck she was doing.
I don't know, but she told me that my father is in the Free City.
And Jade, you got some friends that went to the Free City too, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess I do.
Yeah, well,
Sorry, I don't remember that part.
maybe there's gonna be a little something for all of us there. At the very least, they won't look at us funny for being who we are, right?
Exactly.
That'll be good. Be good to see. But you guys gotta keep walking, keep trekking. It's like realistically a like a 8 to 10 hour walk to get there, but eventually you guys come to a like after trekking across the region, you come to a large wooden wall that's like kind of it looks like a kind of like a military fortress fence, like spiked wooden posts, and you see like smoke coming from behind the wall, but not like everything's on fire, more like just standard. We have like fires and stuff for heat and everything. The air is getting a little cooler up here as you guys are getting in kind of like a more mountainous region, a little further in from the oceans. And what appears to be like this like town or village built under the shadow of this like small mountain, not a huge mountain, but like a small mountain. And you guys approach the gates. This is in the general area that where they told you the Free City was. And there's a couple guards. There is like a goblin and an orc guard on like a watchtower, or on separate watchtowers, as you guys approach.
I'll just
Do we kill him?
no, I'm gonna hail up to one of the guards and be like, is this the Free City for the Reclaimers?
Not just Reclaimers here, buddy. But yeah, this is the Free City.
Can we gain entry, please?
I don't know, can you?
I'm gonna
I
say
think that
yes.
was a challenge.
Are you seeking refuge, or do you have business here?
Seeking refuge at the moment.
They call down, say, open the gate, and the gates begin to open. As you step into the gates, you see a very, like, almost shanty town looking spot. Most of the buildings are, like, hastily constructed, like, tents, or, like, very, very, like, in early stages of construction, like, kind of brick buildings. You see a big central road, basically splitting in the village in two on and make perception checks. on the, as you guys are making these, on the left side of the village, you see lots of like beings in what you guys would recognize to be eclipse armor, and have like, there's some definite cloaks and like purple and gold. And on the right side of the village, you see like more pristine, a mixture of like colors that from multiple regions all over Greece. And the city has like a tense feel to it. What did we get on those perception checks?
3.
19.
19. Jade, you're just kind of taking it in. Demetrius, you see that, like I said, the village is very tense. There's a lot of like construction. It looks like they're really trying to build here. But you see that like, as you're walking through, a lot of people are like walking around, like coughing, like kind of like meek or weak in a lot of areas. You see a lot of merchant stalls, or what look to be merchant stalls, that are just empty. And like things seem like they're not going great so far in the village.
A lot of cool stuff in here, Demetrius.
There's nothing here. All the merchants all the merchant stalls are empty.
Yeah, but look at the time of day it is.
It's like, I mean, it's getting into the night, but it looks like, even if it's like, because you guys like started off pretty early, even if like there would still be people kind of around in like the market areas at this point, we'll say.
Yeah, you're right. Where is everybody?
Do you guys want to like ask around? Like Demetrius, you say, I mean, you guys both have somebody that you know here theoretically, right? Or you can just ask somebody on the street, but it looks like, you know, unfortunately, this city's split into like two sides, and it looks like something else is going on, because everybody on both sides is struggling. It's not like one side's winning or anything.
I was gonna ask around to find out who's in charge.
Is there anybody around to ask that?
Go ahead and make investigation checks.
11.
10.
10. I mean, you guys find some people like walking on like the main road area, or the main like street, central street. There's like there's like two kobolds, so like small draconic type creatures just walking down the street.
I'm gonna stop them and ask them if they can point me in the direction of whoever is in charge of the city.
Well, we don't really have one person or anybody in charge. There's like a little council, but they're not doing so great right now. A lot of people are kind of mad at them. We've been getting robbed. We've been having people killed and kidnapped and having our shit stolen. But if you keep following this main road all the way to the end of like the base of the mountain there, I mean, that's where like the council chamber is.
Okay. So I'm going to start walking in that direction.
I'm following behind him.
Okay. The
Kind
four
of like with a little bit of a hand on my sword, just in case.
just keeping your eyes on the sword and stuff. Yeah, so you guys follow the main road. The village isn't like super big, so it's like not that far of a walk. But you come to the council chamber. Demetrius, immediately from the outside you hear shouting coming from inside the chamber, and it's a voice you recognize, but you hear like kind of a back and forth match. You hear one person say, "Action must be taken. We cannot sit idly by and let our people, our crops, and our treasures be ravaged by that monster. You hear another person say, well, everything we've sent up there has just gotten fucking eaten or kidnapped or taken. This has all been bad. So we can keep trying to waste soldiers and troops and try and go take it out. Or we can try to come up with a better plan, because it's not working for us. And you just hear like it's back and forth arguing. The deeper voice that you heard first, Demetrius, you recognize to sound very similar to your father's voice.
May I roll an investigation check on that?
You can roll an investigation check if you want.
So that would be 10.
10. I mean, you can hear the same like shouting conversation. People are arguing about something that's attacking the city, but you don't recognize any of the voices.
Yeah, next time I do that, I'm just gonna hold it to the camera.
Right. When Demetrius hears the voice that he recognizes, he kind of like perks up and goes running in the doors.
So yeah, you like bust in the door. This is very clear like an angry and animated council meeting. Make perception checks.
11.
16.
So Jade, you kind of come in and clock the whole scene. And you see like, based off like the looks of things, like there's like several empty like jugs and stuff that have been like knocked over or like gone through almost. It appears that this meeting, whatever it has been going on for a long time today. There is creatures of all different species here in this room. There's, I mean, you see a large dragonborn, you see goblins, you see orcs, you see just a variety of different, like a significant variety of different creatures here in the room. Demetrius, as you focus in on your father, you notice one thing most of all, and that is he's still, you know, regal, standing tall, like commanding presence over the meeting. You also notice that the cape he is wearing is purple and gold. As he turns to you and says, "What is the meaning of this?" Almost like saying that before he even lays eyes on you. And you can see, like, as he turns and looks at you, the expression in his face changes to more of like a shock than anything else. As he just kind of stands there dumbfounded.
And all Demetrius can think to say is, "You're alive."
So are you.
I didn't go to war.
Greece has never been very friendly to our kind. So when you stayed behind, I feared the worst that happened. He kind of takes a step back, says, "Adjourn the council for tonight. We'll meet again and discuss this issue in the morning." Thank you all. He kind of dismisses everybody. Seems to be kind of like a respected voice on this council. As everybody else kind of just like, you know, glancing looks and whatever at you guys, and seems to walk out of the room, leaving it for the 5 of you, or 4 of you, 5, whatever. I'm glad you made it. Are you have you come to join the Free City?
I came because I was told this is where you were.
You must have run into Ulissa then. Ulissa is your sister. She has not made it back from her mission.
Yes, I saw her in Thebes.
Thebes is nice.
Saw that to my friend that's outside with an arrow through her neck.
Talia's just like coughing. Yeah, it was really good. It was great.
Easy, Talia. Don't use your words.
Um, what, uh, what were you doing in Thebes, if I may ask?
Trying to find where Ares may have taken our friend.
Ares took your friend?
Yeah, it was a whole shouting match, and chains came out of the ground, wrapped them up, and zapped them somewhere.
Yeah, it wasn't a pretty sight.
That sounds, very much not pretty. I see you have, met another, Dragonborn like us. Hello, I am Maximus Longwing. I am Demetrius's father.
This is Jade Dragonborn. He served with the Athenian army.
Fellow veteran, I see.
Yes, sir.
I did not serve with the Athenian army.
Your robes make that obvious.
It was a tough time for us, Demetrius. There was a lot of things being promised back and forth, and ultimately, those of us who went to fight did not believe that the Greek people would make good on the promises of their Reclaimer project, and judging by how many of the Greek soldiers have ended up here that were supposed to be Reclaimers and granted the access and rights of full citizenship, I think our belief was right. I will have you know that most of us left the Eclipse before the end of the war, once we realized that their goal was not to unseat the power and the elite of the Greek people, but rather to destroy the world. I thought they had a better chance of a more legitimate plan for actually bringing about real change. Instead of promises that would have just kept the status quo the same.
I guess I can't blame you for doing what you thought was right. If there was a right decision at that point.
Truthfully, I don't know that there was. Well, ultimately, who was probably the better side won in the war. But it was just a tough time for all of us, and you can see he's clearly like struggling to like verbalize a lot of that, especially to you. And like he's almost like holding back, in a sense. You can tell.
So now I know that you're safe, and I know that Illicit is safe. Where's Mother?
Give me an insight check, Demetrius.
Natty 1.
Demetrius, you see no change in expression on his face as he says this. The rest of the party, you can see as Demetrius asks, "Where's mother?" His posture, his face, his mood, all clearly sink. Um, the war took a lot of lives, son. Destroyed a lot of things. She didn't make it. I don't know what to tell you. And Demetrius, you think he is saying this emotionless and completely without any pain or suffering in his voice, but clearly to the rest of the party, he is struggling with that still.
At this point, Demetrius is just like kind of trying to process everything that he's learned about his family in the past not even 24 hours.
I know this is probably a lot to take in. But your friend has an arrow through her throat. Looks like the two of you are beat up pretty good. I can take you back to my home and let you all rest for the night. But unfortunately, I have to get an early start. We're dealing with a pretty significant problem here.
Why? What is the problem you're dealing with?
Let's go back and just get everybody off their feet for a little bit, and we can discuss it further.
That's good to me.
So you follow him onto the very clearly more eclipse focused side of the city. As he's kind of talking to you, he explains that both people who left the eclipse forces and came back here, as well as people who were part of like the Reclaimer project and didn't find that society was all that welcoming here, even after they, had been done their service and everything, have all kind of settled here. Tensions are high because, obviously these two sides fought against each other, ultimately to just end up in the same place and suffering from the same things. So a lot of people blame the other side for everything that's happened, and, if they hadn't fought with the Eclipse, then maybe we would, this Reclaimer project would have caught on more. The Eclipse people said, well, maybe if you guys had joined all of us, and we'd all joined the Eclipse, then real change would have actually been able to be made, as we would have taken out, like, the leadership of current Greece here. And just, there's a lot of infighting back and forth, and you all come to what is seemingly a more well-constructed home than a lot of, like, the kind of, like, shanties and rudimentary houses that are elsewhere here in the village. So it has, like, multiple stories and, like, multiple rooms, and seems to be, like, fully made of, like, a brick or stone type thing. And he invites you all inside and grabs a jug of wine that he pours for every one of you. So now you know the story of the village, at least on the surface level. King Creon was nice enough to grant us this plot of land where we would be unaccosted by, soldiers from any army, barring another war. But unfortunately, things have not been so rosy off the jump. There's a monster and her minions that live up in these mountains that started making noise shortly after we settled down, put the wall up, They come down, they steal crops, they steal treasures, they have the ability to sneak in and rob merchants, and have even taken to kidnapping some people. Unfortunately, it's up like it's not quite a cliff face, but it's a very steep mountain that's patrolled heavily during the day. And at night is just difficult to summit. Unfortunately, we've tried to send peacemakers up there. We've tried to send soldiers up there. Only one man has ever come back. And stepping out of the corner of the room, we see a large creature joining the conversation. Vex, would you please introduce your character?
Yeah, so what you guys see is a humanoid lion. Full black fur. The only little bit of white is on his, like, muzzle. And he's really only wearing, like, a light robe. His chest is almost a little bare because the robe is kind of like a V-cut, and you can see scars all over his chest. His muzzle has a huge scar on his cheek, and yeah, looks pretty rugged person. As he kind of struts over, takes the pitcher of wine, pours himself a drink, not even asking. As he just goes, yeah, let a group of people up there, and whatever was in that fucking place, killed them all.
First of all, can I say you're one big motherfucker?
I mean, how tall is the Dragonborns?
He's like, they're both like almost 7 feet tall.
Okay, so I'm about the same size as you. Yeah, I'm only 6'7".
Talia is
Yeah,
looking
you're
up at the
huge.
rest of you as like Boxy when he's in his full like mimic with legs form is like 8 or 9 feet tall. All three of you are approaching 7 feet. Demetrius, your father is approaching 7 feet.
Well, I have Demetrius listed as 7'9".
Oh yeah, so
he's
Demetrius is
he's
above
over
7 feet.
That was more or less for the podcast, guys. Come on.
So Talia is just this like tiny person staring up at these 4 fucking giants. Here. And Maximus, Demetrius' father, says, Alexos is the only person that we've sent up to the cave who has returned. And Alexos, you would know that, like I said, there's a pathway leading up to this cave where you know like the lair is. That it's like a very steep kind of winding back and forth hogback path. That is patrolled pretty heavily during the day by the creature's minions. And at night, it is pretty barren. There's like a few torches that light it. You led like a small group that snuck up and actually got to the cave at night. And last time you got up there was 2 guards outside of it that didn't catch you on the way up. But once you came into view, they started like shooting arrows down at you from above. And then once you got into the cave, you were attacked by a chimeric creature that was like half lady, half 4-legged beast.
Yeah, it's a gruesome sight, to say the least. I mean, I would love to take another party up there and get another crack at it, but it's pretty insanely tough. Just the way it's guarded, and then not only how it's guarded, but if we even get past that, that'll fight the beast that lays in her lair, and she's not very nice.
I mean, doesn't sound like it. She kidnapping people and all that stuff.
I mean, she's the one that gave me the scars. He points to the one on his muzzle.
Oof, yikes.
And like, it's a pretty deep gash. Like, you can see like part of his teeth, as like most of his cheek is almost gone. But yeah, I would been talking it over. Hopefully we can get another party up there soon. A couple more powerful people.
Maximus speaks up again. He's like, we've obviously spoken about sending more people up there. We don't know if the people who have been taken are dead or have just been kidnapped and are being kept as slaves or of some kind. And obviously they have, you know, a lot of treasures and gold and things we can use for trade with other villages up there. I mean, as long as this beast is accosting our city, we will never truly be free. But the council is hesitant to commission any more parties because we've already lost a lot of good fighters trying to take her out.
What about these guys? I mean, 2 Dragonborns could do some damage.
Alexos, I just reconnected with my son after almost 7 years. I don't want to send him immediately into a suicide mission.
Alexos just puts up a hand and goes, alright, alright. As he just takes a seat. And starts drinking as some like pours out from his cut cheek.
Boxy speaks up. He's like, it sounds a lot easier than going to hell, at least, and you guys were all on board for that.
Definitely does sound easier than
The fuck were you guys going to hell for?
Well, you know, we're...
Friend picked up a cursed trident. We were trying to get it to hell so he could be not cursed anymore. Then he pissed off Ares, and Ares kidnapped him, and that's kind of why we're here.
Sounds like your friend's an idiot.
Well, I also left
Well,
out
we
the
never
part where
said he
Athena
was this-
stabbed him.
You know, we never said he was the sharpest tool in the shed, but
Demetrius and Jade make perception checks. Actually, Alexos, you can make one too.
Ugh.
There I go again.
7.
You said perception?
Yeah.
11.
23.
So Alexos, you're the only one who notices, but Talia, the short person in the party, and like the rest of the people, you're all kind of like standing tall, chatting about all this. But Alexos, you kind of look down and notice that Talia is very suspiciously staring at you.
Alexos just kind of stares and he goes, "What's wrong, little lady?"
We don't know this guy. Should we tell him everything about, you know, what we got going on?
I think if my father trusts him, I can trust him.
I'm on the same page, even though he was on the opposite side of the war. He's still a vet. I trust him.
Okay. I'll trust you guys, but I don't know.
Alexos just takes another chug.
Just let him know.
Boxy kind of says, you think there's treasure up in those caves, man?
I mean, treasure for the people.
Oh, come on. What about a little rescuer's fee? A little rescuer's fee.
It's not my job. That's a boss man's job over here.
A boss man. Is there any sort of reward for taking this out? Maximus kind of is taken aback by it a little bit and says, I guess we could work something out. And there's some sort of reward. But like I said, I'm not interested in sending Demetrius up there to fight this thing. She's killed many, many of our, spearmen and archers and stuff.
Do you not think I'm capable of doing it?
Demetrius, first off, give me a history check.
18.
The one thing that, like, occurs to you now as you're like, do you not think I'm capable, is that your dad never saw you become a wizard. Before, like, you kind of stayed in to study magic. Like, you were starting your studies when, like, the war kind of started and you took off. But ultimately, your dad never got to see you become, like, somebody capable of casting, like, significant spells and stuff. Says, Demetrius, it's not that you're not capable, but, I mean, obviously, like, we've sent a lot of soldiers up there, good, hard, tough warriors, and one of them has made it back.
Alexos just points to a scar again.
But we've also, the four of us, pointing to Talia and Jade, the three of us, along with our friend, took out an entire Eclipse camp.
Your dad looks at you confused for a second. He says, but the Eclipse was defeated.
Somebody might want to tell them that. We found a camp by Holly that was preparing to take siege of the city.
Have you, Maximus turns to Alexos, and says, had you heard of any rumblings of Eclipse operations still continuing?
No, I mean, I traveled here, you guys let me in, and then kind of became one of your best warriors, and I've been recovering for a couple months after going up to that cave. No way in hell I would know anything.
I sent Illicit out there with the Eclipse being operation. Was it just in Holly, or did you encounter them elsewhere? Is the Eclipse still... You'll have to forgive me. Most of the cities and villages have yet to really open up trade and communication with us. So...
They were also near Athens and Thebes.
So it's a big operation. It's not just a few rogue camps. Oh my god. They're still trying to do it.
What are they trying to do?
Destroy the world? There's only so much that they would let us in on when we were fighting together. But we essentially got what caused most of us to leave the fight was we learned that the Eclipse, the leaders were very mysterious and always shrouded in something never truly there. It was always like mystical messages and projections that appeared to us. But essentially we got the gist that they were trying to summon some great beast. I don't know if it's new or old. And kill all the gods and anybody that doesn't submit to their will. Is the gist of it.
We have already seen them try to conjure a beast. Not a huge beast, but a big beast. the water elemental?
It's the creature they're trying to summon is much bigger than that. I know they had to do all these special things to break it, and I know one of them, actually what we realized was one of their goals was to spill the blood of 50,000 Greeks. And we believe that's why the war was started. And I mean, we could never get into the inner sanctums of leadership and such, but unfortunately, it seems like they're trying to finish the job. I was so thankful when the war ended and they had been defeated. I thought it was over. I guess I was wrong.
Oh, maybe. Well, maybe once we take care of this little monster problem you got, I may be able to help with that. Never a big fan when I was with the Eclipse, but
Yeah, they were assholes
yeah,
for the most part. Yeah. They sold a
Yeah,
lot
right.
of us on lies.
we were just cannon fodder, to be honest.
Yes. Just cannon fodder.
As Alexos kind of stands up, crack his knuckles a little bit, is like, I'd go for some payback. Both for that monster up there, fucking Eclipse.
Bless you, Jimmy. So yeah, Maximus says you're all welcome to rest for the night here, and maybe we can discuss. If you believe you have the capability to take out, powerful monsters, maybe you are the right people to send up there. It sounds like you have more experience fighting creatures like this than anybody else in our camp. But I don't want to send more of my family to die. And you guys are all able to, like, get a long rest throughout the process. And, like, seemingly stay the night in a safe place. But we wake up the next morning. Maximus, kind of goes to the middle of the group and says, I have a council meeting that will start shortly. Hopefully Yelissa will return today. I don't know if there's anything else you guys were hoping to do in the city. But join us at your earliest convenience in the council chambers. You know where they are. And he walks out.
Alexos follows him as he goes to the meeting early.
Okay. The rest of you. Anything else you want to do in the city, or?
I think we should just get the meeting over with.
Okay. So you guys all follow straight to the council chambers. The meeting begins. Similar to yesterday, same cast of characters. Just a variety of different species in there, discussing some of the things. And Maximus kind of stands up and says, all right, to finish yesterday's business, this group of adventurers came into the city yesterday evening, and they, along with Alexos here, the only man to make it back from the monster's cave, believe that they have the capability to defeat this thing, and save our town. I know there is hesitancy from some to send more soldiers up there, but I think what we can all agree on is that until we're able to be out from under the thumb of this tyranny, we are never ever going to be free, and the free village will be free in name only. I open the floor to questions, concerns, proposals, emotions to you all. This might be the best chance we get.
This might be the only chance we get.
Alexos just kind of walks up and goes, "So what can you guys all do? Just so I know what I'm working with."
Range attack, stealth attack, also sneakiness.
Okay, you're a dragonborn, a little weird for that, but okay.
Well, you're a massive tiger. What's your point?
I punch things really hard. That's my point.
What's the point of just going face to face when you can sneak around and chop your head off?
Oh, I'm just saying, you're 7 feet tall. I think it would be a little hard to be sneaky with that, but we'll work with what we got.
I have my ways.
Talia like waves her hand around and pulls out her bow as well, and just calls does some druidic magic, and forms a little flower target, and then she shoots through the. Actually, we'll roll for that. She actually hits it. She shoots through she summons this conjures this little flower that flips up in the wind, and she shoots through the flower and pins it against the wall.
All right. How about you, Demetrius?
Demetrius, after seeing Talia do that, casts Gust on it and just blows the flower away from the arrow. Best I can do right now.
Talia's that thing was gonna be really cool. That was really impressive.
Surprised you didn't cast Firebolt on the damn flower.
No, I'm a dragon, not a halfling. Or tiefling, rather.
And Boxy just he lets his head grow out into its big normal size, the 3 foot long massive chest, and just his tongue grows out in this massive pseudopod type thing, and these teeth form is I can do this.
Alexos just looks at him and goes, "Okay." Got a mimic, a mage, 2 mages, and 2 range attacks. All right, this will be a little bit more difficult than I thought. But hey, if you guys said you killed the water elemental,
Yeah, and I wasn't even there for that one. They did that without me, and I'm pretty tough.
I believe it, Boxman.
He does a little shuffle, boxing shuffle around the ring, and
Okay.
I think he's trying to icky shuffle his way out of this.
I think he just wants the treasure. He's a mimic.
This is true.
This man, straight shooter. I like him.
Yeah, mimics are notorious for just wanting treasure.
Yeah. Even before I was mimic, I also really wanted treasure too. Always liked treasure. Treasure's great. It's
So you're
shiny.
a cursed mimic. That makes it even better.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. As he kind of looks over to the rest of the council and goes, "Look, these 4 are probably your best chance. I mean, if they said what they did and aren't lying about it, this is your best chance. I mean, all the other guys, don't get me wrong, really good warriors, but we didn't know any magic per se. We were bows and shields and spears going up a mountain. So these four might be our best shot, and I know the easiest way to get up. So
And you hear like somebody from the council just goes, and at least if they die, it's not our own people. So like that's good.
very true. None of us are technically part of the city, so
Maximus, after you say that, he's like, oh well, apart from you, Alexos, you're obviously a welcome addition around here.
yes. But I've only been here for about a year, so
Probably not even that long. It's only been like you've only you have been here a little longer than the Eclipse got here a little longer, or the people who left the Eclipse got here a little before everyone else. But the war has only been over for like 7 or 8 months at this point, realistically.
it's close to a year.
Yeah, almost a year. This is
All right. So let's say 6 months. How about that?
yeah, 6 months is good. If Maximus kind of gathers his breath while looking at Demetrius and says, if there's no objections from the council, then I guess you 5 will be our team.
May I say Avengers?
I don't know what that means. Is that supposed to have some significance to me, Alexos?
No.
Okay, then. Then you can say whatever you want.
All right. So, I would say we're gonna probably leave at night since it's less guarded. What else? Just be prepared to get hurt. Least I can say. Trekking up and dealing with a couple guards isn't going to be the worst, but once we get into the layer, that's where shit goes south very fast.
That sounds fun.
So you guys have a while now before night. Last chance. Anybody want to do anything else in the city before getting ready to go?
Well, before we leave the council chambers, Demetrius is going to cast Chill Touch and make the ghostly hand grab the arrow out of the wall and plop it back in Talia's quiver.
Okay. So you do that. Your Chill Touch reaches out, knocks the arrow back in Talia's quiver. She doesn't even notice it. Yeah. So anything else before you guys head out? Any preparations or anything you want to do? I'll say Talia goes ahead and makes the potion with the ingredients you found yesterday.
Alexos will help. He's pretty decent at making medicine.
I don't need help.
Okay, fine. Just helping. We are
For some reason, I kind of get in that Daisy.
pretty much going to die when we go up there, so
Well,
might as well have all the healing potions we can get.
I only have enough ingredients for one, so
Well, we can go scavenge for more. The thing up there might have been taking people and treasures, but they very rarely take herbs and other types of ingredients.
they take like the big crops, but not like little.
Not like the
Herbs
not
and
the little
stuff.
herbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead if you guys want to take a quick look around and outside of the city. Give me a either nature or investigation check.
Ooh, 15.
Natty 1.
Dude, you're rolling those fucking natty ones like it's your job.
17.
I think I've rolled double digits once tonight.
My girlfriend got me a new dice tower, and that's been rolling pretty good so far. So, good luck to you guys. So between the three of you, you guys find the ingredients to make 3 or 2 more health potions that are just 44 plus 4. So you guys have 3 health potions as a group heading up here. And it's just like the night kind of passes, or the day kind of passes. You guys do some other stuff to get ready. You kind of read out. They discuss. Alexos tells you like the layout of the inside. There's like this big grand hall, and then like a couple offshoot rooms. Once you get up the like very steep mountain face into the lair, and like there was no other people kept. Alexis is what you saw. There was no other people kept in like the main grand hall. There was only the creature and her minions. So you don't know if any slaves or kidnapped victims were being kept in like the offshoot rooms, or if they'd just been eaten or something at this point. As like night begins to fall and you guys are kind of getting ready to go, the gate opens and there's like kind of a commotion at the front gate, as you see a person like riding in on a horse, clutching their side with like blood coming out. Demetrius, you recognize this once again to be your sister Yelissa, as she's like kind of like falling off the horse riding into the city, clutching her side.
I'm going to run up to her and catch her off the horse, basically.
As like you literally run up, actually give me a strength check or athletics. 18. So like just in time as she's like kind of falling off the riding at you with the left side of the horse, and like she just like tumbles off into your arms, as you like catch her and like kind of like carry her a little bit. She's much smaller than you are, but she's clearly like hurt, and there's like a commotion of people like coming to like greet her.
I try to like drag her to anybody that can help and heal her, basically.
So right before you start dragging her, Alexos like kind of stops you and goes, "You might not want to move her," as he's gonna check her out. So probably a medicine check.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a medicine check.
24.
24. So you know Yelissa pretty well. You guys have spent a lot of time together in the last 6 months. She's not dying from this wound, basically, but it's like clearly as you kind of like lift up her like shirt, and it looks like she took like multiple arrow shots to the same kind of area of her stomach, and she's like breathing heavily. It's like, I almost didn't make it back here. There's someone hunting. I don't know if they were hunting me or someone else, but and with a 24 medicine check, you can see she's stable, but she's also suffering from the effects of the poisoned condition. So she's not like immediately gonna die, but does need like time to rest and get healed.
So Alexos, understanding all of that, just kind of points Demetrius into the right direction.
Oh yeah,
carry
so
her.
you take her to the council chambers and lay her at the feet of your dad, and she's clearly breathing, and Maximus goes, Yelissa, what happened? She's like, I need to rest. I'm fine. I'll be okay. And she falls asleep, still breathing though. And Maximus is just like, we'll take care of her. Do what you guys have to do. And they like drag her into a back room, carry her into a back room.
Alexos just pats Demetrius on the shoulder and just kind of tilts his head and saying, "Let's go." As I'm assuming night's fallen already.
Yeah, it's dark outside.
Demetrius looks at him, just nods, and heads out the door.
Okay. So you guys head out the main street, out the gate, and the mountain is on like, it is like on the far side of the village from where you guys are currently. Leading up, From the base of the hill, you guys can see torches kind of scattered throughout what look to be like zigzagging going up. So you can kind of like intuitively figure that's like that the torches are kind of at like the corners of the like pathway that's scaling up. In Alexos, you would know that. It's a very steep hill, obviously not unclimbable. And you can see like a pretty large cave, even from this angle, kind of like halfway up the mountain.
So as we start kind of ascending, Alexos just kind of tells everyone just like to stay closer to the ground as you can, or like as close into the ground as you can. As it's not really down because we're going up, but just because he knows there are guards with bows at the top that will shoot down if they see anything.
Okay. So are you guys gonna try to like wind back and forth on the path, or are you guys gonna try to like climb up without like, or like in one of the darker areas?
So Alexos probably gave them the option of either just scaling it straight up, but that'd be obviously more dangerous, easier to see, or we can take the winding action way and be a little bit more safe because we can dart from dark area to dark area.
I think that would probably be the best choice, would be the stealthy way.
That'd be the best way, yeah.
Okay, so you guys are gonna wind back and forth.
Yeah.
All right, so this is gonna require 3 separate stealth checks from all of you to get up this hill. The guards are gonna roll. The guards are not specifically like hunting for you, so you're just trying to beat their passive perception, which is 11. So you guys are all going to need to beat 11 on a stealth check 3 times. If one of you fails, it might not be the worst thing in the world. They might just think it's a rogue person coming up here. But does anybody want to cast any spells or anything ahead of time to try and...
Well, Demetrius is going to put his hood up.
Okay.
Kind of blends in even more with the surroundings.
Going full Assassin's Creed.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. Kind of hide in the missionaries.
Okay.
Alexos just gets on all his fours and starts kind of like walking like a cat.
All right. If that's all that we got going, I need everybody to make their first stealth check.
21.
16.
25.
Talia and Boxy both passed their first stealth check. You guys can kind of see the guards because they're in like kind of a more well-lit area, as there's like a fire coming from inside the cave. You see like the shadows of the guards. Clearly just like not checking you as you dart past this like first third of the mountain. Everybody go ahead and you make your second round of stealth checks.
14.
18.
12.
What is Talia at to stealth? As you guys are kind of like darting in and out of the next, as like getting almost fully 2/3 up the pathway, Talia slips on like the ledge and sends like rocks and gravel like cascading down the hill, making a pretty significant amount of noise. Everybody please roll initiative for me. Of course I roll an at 20 on initiative.
5.
24. Or not 24, Jesus, 23.
Okay. So Alexos, you actually, as the bandits notice Talia and like pull out their bows, you act first. As you were like kind of leading the pack.
Yeah.
I'll let you know that going up like zigzag the last third of the hill would be 120 feet of movement. Going up the hill directly would be half that, 60 feet of movement. But it would also require like a check of some kind.
I'm just gonna scale it. Let's go
Okay.
for it.
Go ahead and give me an athletics or acrobatics check.
On the table, please. Not 20.
No.
So 23.
Like with the swiftness of somebody who like had planned for things to go wrong, you like without breaking a movement, you hear like the rocks kind of tumble down the mountain and like cause all this noise, and immediately just bound up the hill, like almost jumping 30 feet like directly up, automatically scaling rapidly, and immediately get to the top of the cave entrance, still hidden right next to these two like watch keepers, just in one movement.
Okay. Can I still do like an attack or action or
Yes,
bonus action?
because you got
Okay.
nat 20, you just boom, you scaled it all.
I'm gonna get up to them and as my first attack action, I'm just gonna push one of them off.
So push is an athletics check against his save.
Okay. 18, 19, 21.
21. So you push the guy and he tumbles, like, so you like immediately number one will say you push him off and he tumbles down to like the next like bit of pathway that's up. Give me a luck check if you would.
To 14.
14. So he doesn't like let out a scream as you push him off a fucking cliff. Does not.
And then as a bonus action, I'm gonna use a key point and do Fury of Blows on the second guy.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack rolls.
It's gonna be a 19.
It's gonna hit.
Is it just one extra attack, I think? Or is it two? I forget because I didn't read the shit beforehand. Fury of Blows. And the shitty thing about this fucking app, it doesn't actually have like a Fury of Blows thing in it. Go into the actual key. Immediately after you take your attack action turn, you can spend one key point to make two unarmed strikes.
Two
as a
unarmed
bonus
strikes.
action. So first one's, like I said, was a 19.
19 is gonna hit. So
15. 18 is the second hit.
both hit.
1d4 plus my wisdom modifier. Yeah. So 3 plus 4 is 7. Plus 4 is 11 damage.
11 damage. So you push the first one off the hill and like make him land. Actually, I have to roll. And like make him land and like thunk hard on this, and then the second one, you just, I guess, how do you kill this guy as you finish him?
As he probably turns to see his buddy get shoved off, just an instantly open palm hit him in the face and crush his skull.
So you just fucking slash across his face and like are forcibly like pushing his head one way as you bring your second palm and just smash them together. The rest of you make perception checks.
11.
So Demetrius, you were able to track Alexos's movements. He was like kind of right in front of you as you were like going up. But the rest of you don't even see Alexos just bound up and just throw one guy off, like completely barely saw Alexos, wasn't even looking for him, and then just completely murk another dude. Talia is up next. Talia is going to, as there's still this other bandit here. Talia is going to like pull out her little staff and like cast like a small beam of energy at the other guard who's like recovering, like kind of getting up, and like you see around his head forms a like kind of pink halo almost that like sinks in, and he says, as he just kind of sits there, then seemingly uncombative, as he's like, hey, what's up? How's everyone doing? You guys want to get up to the lair? And Talia's like, I charmed him. He's not going to bother us right now.
Alright, so that's one less dude we have to worry about, at least.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so you guys don't even have to worry about making a stealth check for these guards anymore, as they're both out of commission. You guys walk back past the other guard, and he's like, yeah, have fun doing what you guys are gonna do. You can see actually this person still is like kind of a weird like human cat hybrid sort of. Much smaller than Alexos and not like the same kind of like full lion's mane and everything, but like almost like a human panther type person, like a tabaxi. As you guys all eventually, you know, sneak up to the ledge and meet Alexos kind of at the entrance of this cave.
Nice, just kind of shaking off some blood from his paws.
Everybody give me perception checks as you kind of like peek over this ledge, kind of like further into this cave area.
19.
0.
Also 19.
So your two 19s, you guys notice that you come to this like mouth of this cave, but you see like it like tunnels in almost to like this very ornate archway. It has like gold blue inlays, like gold and lapis inlays in this like massive archway. It seems very ornate. You guys kind of just creep a little closer and peek in, and you hear like a faint sound of music, kind of like a lyre almost playing in there. You hear like a few chatter of people, and you can see kind of ducking into the lair. You can't see like fully into this like main hall area that Alexos has described to you, but you do see like a few doors leading off to the sides in this like smaller kind of entryway, and you can just like hear several people talking. But it's very ornate. Looks like a lot of treasure, a lot of riches have been hidden here. What are you guys gonna do?
Alexos is gonna look at everybody and goes like, kind of points towards like where where he last encountered the monster. Where I'm assuming the music is coming from.
Yeah. And Alexis, it was very similar to the last time you came up here. Like, they were all kind of chilling. You guys were able to sneak up and take out the 2 guards. And then you ran into shitstorm in the lair itself. But you know, it seems like nothing has changed from these people's standpoints. So, what's the plan, Stans?
I would have rolled an investigation check, but I'm not going to check anything else tonight.
Alexos kind of looks at him and goes, well, I mean, there's 2 options. We can get them on surprise, or we can lure them out into this little corridor, this like little cave before the entrance, or just after the entrance if you're going into it, and get them all in a small area, and then one of you wizards can cast a big spell.
That sounds like a plan. Why don't we try that? Get them in a small area, and then I will do my thing.
Okay. How are you guys gonna try to lure him out?
Well, I am the one that escaped, so I know that monster is just waiting for me. So I can go in, get their attention, run out, and then right as they all get clustered up, you fire that big spell.
Okay.
Like, you guys can wait outside of the tunnel, and right as I run back out, Demetrius, you just show up right in front of that tunnel, cast a big spell, kablamo, we go home.
Let's try it.
All right, that sounds like a plan. So Alexos is going to sneak into this. I assume you're gonna like try to sneak into the area and then like draw them out, or are you gonna
Yeah.
like okay? So give me a stealth check first.
Stealth. That's gonna be a 19.
19. Okay, so you, I mean, just like before, off in the shadows. Demetrius and Jade, since you guys can't see or hear what Alexos is doing, I'm going to need you guys to deafen yourselves, and I'll let you know when to come back. Okay, so Alexos, you sneak through this corridor, and you come to this grand entryway of this, like, obviously this corridor is big because the monster that has to fit through it is very large. But you come to the grand entryway of this area. Give me another perception check, if you would.
I don't think that one's that good. Perception is +4. Not that bad. 16.
16. So like you see that like a lot of like the treasures and stuff they have stolen from the village have come and like kind of been gathered and piled. It's almost like a dragon sitting on its hoard, right? So you guys are, so you know, peek your head in and see this big creature with the top half of like this kind of like humanoid figure, not clearly not like a real human, but like a figure with like the same features of a human, and like the bottom half of a great cat of some kind. And then you see she has several like attendants in here also that are like the same kind of like human cat hybrid tabaxi type person.
Yeah.
What are you doing as you get in here?
Did they notice me as I got in?
No.
Alexos is just gonna kind of look back at the group that he was with, and the fresh news that the eclipse is still a thing and is still wreaking havoc. He's gonna take out a little like pendant that he wore and just rip it off, as that was kind of like his collar,
Okay.
and toss it on the ground in front of the monster.
She stands up as you do this. She didn't really take notice of you as you came in initially. But she stands up on all fours, is once again large, and says, "Our deal wasn't for this to end now here, buddy." Alexos, she like walks over to you, like her hips kind of shaking back and forth. It's like, and like kind of walks closer to you. "You're not allowed to say when this ends."
Well, with fresh news that I'm going back to work for my real bosses. As he just takes out a little dagger and chucks it at her.
"Honey, I am your... Make your attack roll.
Oh, that's a fucking 19.
You're gonna hit. Whatever you add to it, it's gonna hit.
Okay. It's 1d6. No, 1d4, sorry. A little tiny knife that he's just gonna chuck away. Like 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay. Hold on one sec. Signaling to put his ears back on. So Jade and Demetrius, from inside of the tower, or inside the corridor, you hear this like hissing in like pain. Alexos, so you're running out after you chuck the dagger in.
Oh, I
So you
fucking book it.
out. Fucking Christ. She swipes at you as you like run away from her. But like her paw, like her large front paw misses as you're leaving your area.
And I'm assuming they can't see me yet.
No, so you duck out through the hall, but you do hear her say, "Two of you, go bring him back."
As I turn around, just kind of flip him the finger.
So Alexos just books out Jade and Demetrius. You guys are gonna have a surprise round here, as well as Talia. Two of these, like, similar as like the kind of watchmen, come sprinting through the tunnel behind Jax Alexos as he like clears out of the tunnel. Talia's gonna go first. She's gonna pull her bow and take this. Talia's gonna fucking crit. Of course, I roll good on the things that I'm rolling for your party. That's not that good. So Talia like looses an arrow into like the throat of one of them. Jade, what are you gonna do as two of these guards like come running out?
First, hunter's mark on that one.
Okay, number 2 was the one that she just hit, as I reveal. 2 and 3, Bandit 2 and 3 are the ones that are coming out for you.
So yeah, not Hill. I did say hunter's mark, correct?
Okay, so you bonus action hunter's mark.
On Bandit 2.
Number 2. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
18.
18. That is gonna hit. Go ahead and roll your damage plus your d6.
That's a okay. Since I'm rolling real dice now, what is that? D10.
For you, it is a d8 plus 3, and then a d6.
So 7 damage on the hit, and then 4 with the d6.
Go ahead and finish this guy off.
I see him running at Alexos. I get him in my mark, put it right between his eyes, and blow, and goes right to the back of his head.
So like you step back, full power of like your massive frame and how far back you can pull this bow, releases, arrow goes clean through his head, sticks into the like brick wall behind him as he like flips up and like spins over backwards and lands on the ground. Demetrius, your turn as number 3 is running out towards you.
Casting Cloud of Daggers literally right in front of him, so he has no choice but to run into it.
Okay, so you do that. Let me... How much damage does it do?
4d4 slashing. So I got 11 slashing damage.
So you after like the one arrow, I mean immediately like Talia and Jade put both their arrows in this guy as you summon a cloud of daggers that covers the front and doesn't have enough time to stop as he completely... There is no save or anything for cloud of daggers. It's just...
Nope, it's just
the damage.
Your damage.
As this guy runs through it and like all these like mystic like projections of like these sharp edges and things just like cut him up and his like body falls apart, literally is running through the daggers essentially. But you saw only the 2 chased you out. From inside, you guys hear a shout, or a voice that says, "You, out there, you have someone that I want. I'll take it my servants didn't last long, judging by the pained screams I heard."
If you want me, you gotta come get me.
How about this? I'm not sure how many of you there are, but that man is a traitor. You really want him on your side?
Traitor? You're the one that gave me all these scars.
Give me a deception check.
13.
Jade and Demetrius, give me insight checks.
Nat 20, baby.
13.
So both of you can actually see, as well as Boxy, he kind of like, he doesn't have eyes, but you can see he turned his gaze to Alexos. Says, Alexos is clearly hiding something about this, or about himself with you. Boxy says, her little minions are cat people. You're a cat person. Something you want to tell us there, bud?
I'm a lion. I'm not a cat person.
I don't know, cats.
Totally different. Plus, if I was a fucking traitor, do you really think I would be out here the rest of my own life? And if I was working for her, why would I kill 2 of them? Then help you guys kill her.
I don't know, but it doesn't seem like she's coming out here.
She will. I'm the one that escaped.
Jade especially, you can see right through this lie, or that he's not being truthful in some way with you. From inside, again, she shouts, "Tell you what, you bring him back in, and I'll release my prisoners. Jade, with your nat 20 insight check, as she kind of says that, she tails off when she says release her prisoners. You detected dishonesty from her, the voice that's coming from inside this cave. As well.
Okay, both these suckers are lying to me. That's what I'm getting.
No, he's not lying. He is a lion.
Well, he's a damn lion. That's what he is.
Oh, very true. But yeah, that's what's up.
So tell me the truth, you're gonna lose one of your 9.
Hey man, look. Let's kill this bitch, and then I'll tell you everything. How about that?
I aim my rifle right at his forehead. You tell me now. I mean my bow at his head.
Hey,
I want to do that.
With Hunter's mark active.
Boxy puts his hand on Jade and says, "Look, I think we need his help to kill this lady, but I don't think she's gonna come out, and she clearly doesn't like him. So maybe he betrayed her at some point. I don't know, man."
All I want to know is why she's after him, and why he's lying to us.
Alexos just stays quiet.
Because obviously we're going to get a conflicting story if we go in there and get her side, which I think she's lying too.
It's a monster that eats people. It takes treasures. You're either going to trust anything she says?
Well, obviously not, because even if we go in there, bring her you, she's still going to kill the prisoners.
Alright, fine. You know what? Technically, I served her. But it was out of not free will.
Can I get a perception check on that?
Inside check, yeah.
Insight, yes. 8.
He's telling the truth. I mean, Demetrius, you feel free to roll an insight check too.
Yeah. Insight. 14.
I mean, you can tell that statement he just made was the truth. That he had served her not out of free will, and he doesn't anymore.
I lower my bow.
As I start walking towards back into the cave.
I follow.
So what did we decide, children?
You
To get rid of your ass.
Meow. So this like pathway in kind of does wind and like twist and turn. So you guys would be able to maybe like duck into like a little corner or something and get a better view of what you got inside. If you like can pass a stealth check. But yeah, I mean, do what you guys are gonna do.
He obviously knows we're here, so there's no point in rolling a stealth check.
Well, we can try to be stealthy about getting into the room and survey the situation, see like what's going on there, where she is, possibly get close enough that we can get a sneak attack on her.
I mean,
And for you especially, Demetrius, is your character can get sneak attack from hidden. So whereas if you're like ducked behind a corner or table and people don't see you, and then you hit them with an attack, you can do an extra d6 of damage with that attack. So like that's also something.
Okay, so say if I wanted to go into rogue mode, like all stealthy and slip into the shadows, I can do that, right?
Yeah, give me a stealth check.
so I was going to say to you guys, she wants me the most. I can always be a distraction.
17.
17. Okay.
And Demetrius, of course, is going to put his hood up that he blends in better. And they get advantage on stealth checks.
Okay.
Nat 20.
So both of you, there's like on opposite sides of this hallway, and like torches are kind of like lit it up dimly. You both like duck into shadows, kind of blending in with what you have going on. Boxy says, "Look, I can frontline here. I don't know if you want to as well, but like, I'm not. There's no sense in me hiding here." And Talia's gonna try to sneak up. Talia trips and falls.
Well, luckily
I guess
Alexos
that
is
was
just kind of. Luckily,
that was
Alexos
not
is just
one,
kind of
right?
walking up.
Yeah, so I think Boxy, Talia, and Alexos are just gonna kind of walk up the center because she doesn't know how many people like are out there technically. And all of you can see that you have this. There is this woman cat hybrid. She has like the top half of a woman, same features of a human, long like dark brown hair. She's like kind of darker skin, with like the lower half of like a lion almost, similar, like in a similar build to Arachne, but instead of spider, lion. And there is currently inside 3 like servant attendant things. We're just gonna stay in the current initiative order. Alexos, you're gonna like we're gonna restart at the order. But Alexos, you kind of like lead the charge walking in, as Demetrius and Jade are on either side of this thing. And she's like sitting in this like big room. There's like mounds of treasure. You can see several doors off to the sides, everybody, like kind of off in this room. But it looks like almost like a dragon hoard type thing where there's like all these like treasures and gold here, as she like kind of prowls back and forth in the center of this room and says, "Look what the cat dragged in."
You're really having fun with these fucking puns. Alexos just kind of walk up and goes, "So you still got my dagger in ya?"
Well, you know, we all have our little pleasures in life.
Yeah, guess so. As Alexos is just gonna straight up run at her and attack her.
Okay, you go ahead. You sprint at the lady in the center of the room. Go ahead and make your attack rolls.
22,
Yeah, that hits.
and then Fury of Blows after, so 2 more. I think a 5 is gonna miss.
5 does miss.
And then a 18.
The 18 hits.
Cool.
So you hit twice with your
12 damage.
12 damage. Okay.
And then since Fury of Blows hit, if I land Fury of Blows, it must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone. It must make a strength saving throw. If it fails, it can be pushed back 15 feet, and it can't take reaction until the end of its next turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it make a dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone.
You see like your hand like claws into her, and she doesn't budge at all.
Okay.
As she does this. So she passes. Crit on a fucking save, but can't crit on a hit. Okay, so you get right up into the mix. Talia is gonna go next. Talia is, let's see what you can do, Talia. Talia is going to. Talia like casts a puff of like toxic gas out of her hand that like goes over you, Alexos, and like into the mouth of this creature here. But she just like coughs a little bit and waves it off, seemingly unaffected. Jade, that's gonna be your turn. You have this, obviously this large lady in the middle of the room, and then 3 other like warriors throughout here.
So I'm still slipped into the shadows. I can make a sneak attack on whichever closest acolytes to me.
Yeah, go ahead.
So which one's is closest?
Equidistant, doesn't matter.
Okay, so number 1.
Okay.
So that would be with the short sword.
No, you can sneak attack with your bow if you want.
Okay, so
If you want to like stay in the shadows and like pop out, release an arrow, you can do that.
so I'm gonna hunter's mark on acolyte 2.
Okay, you transfer your hunter might from Alexos to number 2.
To 6.
Yeah, that's a 6. What do you add to it? You add +5, so that's an 11 total, and that's gonna hit actually. So go ahead and roll your D8 +3 for your damage, and then 2d6 for the sneak attack in your hunter's mark.
Okay, so let's going a little too quick. What was it? One more time.
So 1d8 +3 for your just regular bow attack, and then 1d6 for your sneak attack, 1d6 for your hunter's mark.
Four on the D8.
So 7 total.
And 6 for the extra damage.
So you pop out of the shadows, release an arrow, finish him.
So I see that I have a hunter's mark on him. If I'm in the shadows, I just trace his forehead and stick an arrow right through it.
Pull back, same thing. Just like your massive frame allows you to pull the bow back so much farther than most other people. Put an arrow right through his fucking eye and just falls down. And you can use a bonus action to try and like re-hide if you want to.
Yeah.
Actually, you transferred your hunter's mark as a bonus action.
I transferred. Yeah, I was gonna say I transferred hunter's mark. I shouldn't have activated it on Axios anyway. Alexos anyway.
So the one bandit sees this bandit's charmed outside. He's out of the fight. Nothing's gonna happen to this guy. Fuck it. That guy is charmed outside. But the one bandit sees where Jade shot the arrow from, is going to run over to you. 11 to hit is not
Parry.
going to. You don't even need to parry. It's not going to hit regularly.
Okay.
So this guy runs up to you. He's like, it slashes at you with a sword. Other one is going to raise up his staff. The acolytes seemed to had more of like staves and like in one hand and a little sword in the other. Is going to raise up his staff and shoot this like blast of fire out at Jade. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
That's also a D20, right?
Yeah.
+4 be 14.
14. The fire like kind of bears into the wall and does not hit you. Boxy is just like gonna go after this one. I fucking crit again. Can't crit for my monsters, but I can crit for my NPCs. Boxy's gonna turn to the bandit that attacked Jade and literally just fucking eat him whole. Just tasty.
Yeah, that's disturbing.
Fuck me. Okay, that's fine. Let's see what we can do here. Obviously this cat lady is going to go after you. I like this one. Does a 13 hit you, Alexos?
Nope. I get an AC of 17.
That one's gonna hit you. So she like buries her claw into you, but instead of like doing any damage, it like goes spectral before it hits you, and like you feel like your heart or something is like something is like gripping at your heart, and you feel like you're under some sort of magic effect, but no damage is done to you. And then as a bonus action, I have no fucking bonus action spells. Cool. Sweet. Demetrius, that's you.
How far away from me is Acolyte 1? Is he within 30 feet?
Yeah, he's about 30 feet from you.
Okay, I need to have him make a con save DC 10.
Fails.
So I'm casting infestation on him. So he's gonna take 1d6 poison damage, which is a 5.
Okay.
And because I was hidden, do I get another d6 on that?
No,
So-
that's just for a rogue. That's
Oh, okay.
because Jade is a rogue.
Okay.
Okay. So you cast this swarm of bugs that like raise out of the ground and they start covering. He's like and that's you. Alexos, you are like feeling this like weird type of way here. Do your things though.
Just gonna attack her.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Hits.
6, 8 damage.
Okay.
And as a bonus action, I'm just gonna spend another key point and just do patient defense, which is you take that dodge action as a bonus action on my turn.
Okay. All right. Talia is going to shoot at the lady. What does Talia add to hit? Talia does hit. As she's kind of like moves in off the side a little bit, and shoots an arrow into her. Cool. Jade, that's your turn.
Acolyte 1 is heavily, right?
He's injured pretty bad. He's injured.
Make him a dex save.
He's gonna pass your DC.
Hail of Thorns.
Go ahead and make your attack roll, and see if you hit.
Do not hit. 3.
3. No, you actually aren't gonna hit. So your Hail of Thorns is still gonna be active for you, but you like release your arrow, and it sails over his head. Speaking of him, as he shakes the bugs off, does not really have much in the way of damaging spells. Talia is gonna have to make a dex save. Why would I not roll below a 15 for my friends? Boxy's gonna run over to the acolyte here. I fucking crit again. That's the third fucking.
The Lords of Chaos are in our favor today.
Thanks for the dice tower, sweetie. Yeah, Boxy again. This time he takes his tongue, wraps it around the neck of the guy, and pops his fucking head.
Dude, you fight so disturbingly.
What do you expect? I'm a fucking monster. Okay. Alexos, give me a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage, please.
Alright, what's a D12, you fucknut? I rolled a 16 and a 10, so 10 plus 4, 14.
Fuck you. You see, she points at you and says, "Serve me." And you're like, you feel this like still from like inside, like your ability to resist is weakened somehow. But you are able to somehow resist, and you feel that you do not need to serve her.
I just roar in her face.
We could have been great, you and I. That's her fucking turn, of course. Which brings us back up to Demetrius, or back down to Demetrius.
Alright, I'm casting Magic Missile at a 2nd level on her.
Okay.
Grabbing my D4. So this is 4D4. 4D4 plus 1, so... $13 damage.
Out of your staff, these like little bursts of magic energy come out and like impact her. She's like, super displeased with how things have been going for her lately. Alexos, it's your turn again.
I'll just attack. 15.
Yes, hits.
Another 8 damage.
Okay.
That's my turn.
All right. Talia is just gonna. Oh no, go ahead if you want to finish off.
I have to, because aliens get a technical spell just for BLE. I don't know if it's gonna work on her, but I might as well try it because it's a cool ass feature. I'm gonna use Daunting Roar as a bonus action.
Okay. Well, tell me
Creatures of your choice within 10 feet of you can hear you must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or become frightened of you until the end of the next turn. The DC is 8 plus my proficiency plus your Constitution, so that becomes my Con is +2, proficiency is +2. So what? 8 plus 6, 11, 12, 12, 12.
She looks terrified. Talia's gonna go and attack her. Talia's gonna hit as like she's like starts to turn and run. Talia does another good chunk of damage there. Jade, you're up again. Your Hunter's or your Hail of Thorns is still active for your next hit. You can transfer the Hunter's Mark as a bonus action if you would like.
Transfer it.
Okay, so you mark her.
I know 5 ain't gonna hit.
No. But you still have your Hail of Thorns going on. Boxy's just gonna go get up in her face. I rolled a 19 this time. As he attacks her with his fucking tongue. And like clubs her, but she doesn't get fucking head popped like the other guy does. Alexos, give me an opportunity attack if you would like.
Hell yeah. 13.
13 just hits.
It's gonna be 6 damage.
So you and Boxy both like get a swipe on her as she runs away from you. But as you do, you can see these 3 3 duplicates of her appear, kind of like swirling around. Like you can see like her body has like these weird duplicates going on. Demetrius, that's you.
I'm going to cast Toll of the Dead on her. So she needs to make a Wisdom save DC 10.
Come on. Don't fail me, please. Hey, she makes it.
Damn.
Let's go. So Demetrius, that's her. That's what she's got. Alexos, that brings us to you.
I'm just gonna go right in her face again.
Okay. As she runs from you.
And just fucking go at her. I'm going to use Fear of Blows this time too, so 3 attacks.
Okay.
Last key points. One's going to be a 15 and a 14, and the other is going to be a 9.
The first 2 hit.
There we go. A 4 and a 3. So 4 is what? 8 damage, and the 3 is 7 damage.
You see the first hit, like you claw her as you do that, and then the second hit, like it crashes into some sort of illusory barrier and doesn't actually do any damage to her.
Okay, so the first one, was that the Fear of Blows landing or just a regular?
Just the regular.
Okay. And I'm all good.
Talia is gonna go. Talia misses. Ooh, okay. As Talia like goes to shoot an arrow at her. Jade, give me your move.
Still Hunter's Mark. I mean Hunter's Mark. Hail of Thorns active.
Elthorns is active.
10.
10 total, or is that after you added that stuff?
That's 10 total.
Was 10 what you rolled on the dice?
Yeah, attack roll is 10.
Because you add 5 to your attack rolls. So 15 total. And a 15 does hit, so go ahead and roll your stuff. And Alexos, I'm going to need you to make a dex save, too, as you're right there.
That's a D8.
So you're going to roll a D8, a D6, and then a D10.
So 6 so far. 8.
8 total between all 3 dice?
Yep.
Okay. How much of that was the D10?
D10 was 0.
Oh, so that's a 10.
Okay, so 10. Okay, 10.
Okay.
And then,
So Alexos and her take 5 from the Hail of Thorns plus
I think it was
9
6.
more.
I picked them up as soon as I said 0.
She looks pissed off. But that's you. Boxy's gonna stay through and keep chomping, baby. Boxy's gonna miss though. He's like, oh, Boxy fucking coughs up a hairball. She's like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that fucking cat.
I hollered down to Alexos. Sorry, man, I had to do it.
She's no longer frightened by you. She's gonna hit you with her first attack. Alexos, you're 17. Is your AC?
Sir.
She hits you twice. She like claws at you first off, and then stabs you with her dagger.
Ow.
Oh, you take 23 damage from the claws. And then 6 more damage from the dagger as she like turns back. I will fucking make you pay for this. Claws at you with her like her giant front lion paw, slashing down on you, and then stabs you with your dagger as you like recoil.
And how much total was that again?
29 total damage.
Okay. Jesus.
I rolled 2 10s on my d10s.
Okay.
Demetrius, that's you.
Okay.
Casting firebolt on her.
Okay.
Oh, please don't.
Make your attack roll. Because it's firebolt, not fireball.
Oh, fireball. I thought you said fireball for a second. I was like, please don't. Please don't. I just made this guy.
Rolled a 20 on the attack.
Yeah, that hits.
Is that a nat 20 or just a dirty 20?
Dirty 20
Okay.
Okay.
for 10 damage.
Okay. She looks a little. I mean, she's a little more composed after just fucking up Alexos right there, but still is not happy with what's happening. Alexos, that is your move here.
I'm just gonna take a disengage real quick.
Okay. So you like hop out of the way as she like tries to swipe down at you again.
And then half my movement speed is 20, so I'll just move 20 away,
Okay.
and then just chug a health potion.
All right. Give me 4d4 plus 4.
4 plus 4, and that'll be my turn, so someone else can go.
Okay. Talia's up. Talia is gonna go ahead and Talia's gonna run up a little closer and like pull out her staff again and slam it into the ground. Boxy and her need to make Constitution saves. So she like slams her staff into the ground, like caresses forward this like gust of like electrical and like force energy. That they each take some damage from. Doing a little bit of work there. Jade, that's you, man.
Cast Hunter's Mark on her.
Yeah, your Hunter's Mark's already there, and you have no spell slots left, so you can't cast anything else new.
Four.
Misses.
Excuse me, 5.
Misses. Boxy's gonna go.
I need a dice deal now.
Boxy hits, and he's gonna like make a bite at her. Boxy rolled real fucking shit on his damage. So he only does 6. Boxy like bites at her, but she kind of like shrugs it off almost. And then she goes after Boxy next. Give me a good die, baby. Give me this one. I haven't rolled this one all night. That wasn't a good die. She swings and misses at Boxy with his first attack. Ooh, poor Boxy here with the
She critted.
second attack. Oh shit, this isn't good.
Yep, she created.
4d10 plus 3. I didn't roll any 10s this time. 5, 8, 16, 19. I'm gonna do. She does less damage with that attack than she did onto.
29 damage to a fucking bug.
She does 23 damage to him as she just like buries her paw on him. He's like, "Oh fuck, this isn't good, guys." Demetrius, that's your turn.
We are, excuse me. We are casting Chill Touch.
Okay.
Add a 4. Because I'm not casting chill Touch on her.
You.
Nope.
This like necrotic ghostly hand reaches out to touch her as she's like swinging down on Boxy and like misses as she like moves through it. Alexos, that's you again, man.
Oh, fuck it. I'm just gonna run back up to her.
Okay.
Chug that health potion. Hit my chest a couple times to pump me up.
Let's go. Gonna jump through a table here.
Hell yeah. Oh, that 20.
Sweet. Yeah, no, sick. Go ahead and do it. That's awesome. I love it.
Right? At least I rolled pretty shitty on my damage die. 4 plus 4 is what, 8?
8, yeah.
8 damage total.
She's looking pretty bad. Not like gonna die in a hit or two, but it's looking pretty rough. Talia is gonna do. Talia's gonna cast poison spray again. Could have used that nat 20 somewhere else, but instead it's going to be on the save. So no poison effect to the lady. Jade, your turn again.
17.
17 is going to hit. Let's go ahead and roll your d8 plus 3 and then a d6.
Uh, 8 on the D8. 9 total.
You see like the last like a deflection of blue damage, or like a blue like magic disperses as you hit her, but you can see that there's no more like magical effect coming around her as she goes. Boxy's like, what the fuck, near? Boxy hits. Ooh, Boxy did big boy shit right there. 17 plus... No, 17. So yeah, Boxy takes another bite into her. As he's like tangled up with her, but she's like so big that he can't even like get a full grapple on her, but he can still like bite into her a little bit. It's her. She like shrugs Boxy off. She's going at you again, Alexos. Misses on her first attack. This one's been rolling good. 2 4s. Neither of those hit.
Hell yeah.
Demetrius, that's you.
Casting Toll of the Dead. She needs to make a DC 10 Wisdom save.
No dice tower this time. Do it for me. Yeah. Saved.
Damn it.
Okay. Alexos. Alexos, your turn.
Sorry, I was reading something. Trying to get familiar because I've never played a monk before. It's very fucking confusing.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit.
There's so much shit to fucking.
I've looked into monks for like a couple character ideas. And it's
Yeah,
just like...
there's a lot of shit. Just gonna tag again.
Okay.
13.
Hits.
Ooh, God.
She's not wearing any armor or anything. It's like an exposed top half, which is like a very
She's
tasteful,
also a large monster.
with a very tasteful cloth over her breast.
Ooh, yummy. 4 plus 4, 8.
8 damage.
Yeah.
She's looking pretty fucked up. Talia has not been having luck with the spells, so she's just gonna go for it. Of course, gonna bury an arrow into her for 10 more damage as Talia releases an arrow into her and fucks her up. Jade, that's you, man.
Alexos is distracting her enough, correct?
Yeah.
Stealth check.
To fucking, yeah. Go ahead and roll. Give me a stealth check.
Five.
Oh,
wait a minute. I forgot to add on to it. So 9.
She seems distracted with other shit that you can probably get at her without her noticing.
Sneak attack with a sword.
Okay, so you're gonna sneak up to her. You can do that with your movement. Go ahead and make your sword attack, which you had 4 to.
18.
18. Yeah, that hits. Give me a d6 plus 2 for your sword, and then another d6 for your sneak attack.
So 3 on the sword attack. Excuse me, 2 on the sword attack plus 3, you said?
Plus 2, so 4.
Plus 2, so 4. And then 1 on the sneak attack.
Okay, so 5 total damage. It still does not look happy, but you stab into her. And she like turns and looks at you, is like, I will get one of you. Boxy is Boxy hits again. My boy. You're my boy, Boxy. Boxy cracks into her. She's looking like she's not gonna survive another round. But she's gonna turn to Jade and says, I'm just gonna take you out one at a time. Make her first attack. Your AC is 13, so the first attack misses. Why wouldn't it? Fine, you're not gonna go here. Second attack is gonna hit you.
Parry.
Second attack is not gonna hit you.
Oh, I thought you said it did hit.
No, not with the parry. It's not. So she misses with her claws as like she swings down on you, but then she like backhands with the dagger, and then you throw up the magical bracers Artemis gave you and just knock the dagger out of the way. Because, you know, what fun is the monsters doing damage at all? And that brings us to Demetrius.
You dealt 29 damage to me.
Yeah, that was fun, right? Like, don't we want to do more of that? Demetrius,
No.
It's your turn.
I was died in one turn. Are you kidding?
Serious note on that parry. There's only one time, right?
Yes, once per short rest, you can do that.
Got it.
Casting. Actually, you know, I'm gonna try Toll of the Dead again. So she needs to make a DC 10 Wisdom save.
She fails.
So she takes 1d12 necrotic damage. Takes 12 necrotic damage.
Demetrius, go ahead and finish her.
Right, so as she's fighting with Boxy and Alexos and occupied with everything going on around her, I just make this giant bell form over her and ring it.
So you form a spell
Ring it
around
for
her
sure.
head. She's like, what the fuck? And then just like, boom, and like her head like fucking like shakes inside this like reverberating echo of this giant bell and literally just explodes. As your body slumps to the ground. Defeated. Congrats.
Alexos is just gonna put his hands on his and go. That was a little close. He looks down at his chest with like the fresh marks on the stab wound in the side of his body. He goes, should probably get that checked out.
Yeah, I can see why all you guys fucking died before.
Yeah.
I walk over to Alexos and give him my potion and said, GG's, brother.
I mean, I'm good now. Don't worry about me. It was just, that was in the middle there, a little close.
I will never doubt you again, ever.
Yeah, like I said, I punched really hard.
Okay. So you guys have this dead body here. And like all these other like Tabaxi servants that she had with her. And you're in this like great room. There's obviously like there's like stores of like wheat and like crops basically. There's obviously treasures, like there's gold, there's like knickknacks, trinkets, weapons, armors that have been taken from the city and the people that were killed coming up here. And then there's like a couple rooms to explore.
I think we should explore the rooms.
Okay. There's off this main hall. There's two rooms. There's one on the left and one on the right.
I'm gonna go into the one on the left.
Okay.
I'll go to the one on the right.
Both of you make investigation checks.
I'm closest
18.
to
17.
I'm closest to Alexos, so I'm gonna follow him.
Okay. Alexos gets in the room first. Alexos, what you see, Jay, you're not quite there to see it yet. You see this like brilliant golden dagger. It doesn't have like a deep handguard, but it has this, like a small handguard in it. But this very nice dagger, with a shining emblem of like the sun, with like a yellow gem in the like the middle of the like handguard area, kind of where it connects to the handle.
The pommel.
Yeah. And now the pommel's the thing on the end, on the bottom of the dagger.
Yeah, the pommel, like the
The
bottom of
cross guard,
Yeah,
then.
the cross guard. That's what
Yeah.
that's the word I was looking for. With like it has like a yellowish gem in the cross guard, and like etched into the gold around it is like the rest of the symbols of the sun, like flames offshooting. Looks like a dope ass fucking dagger. Demetrius, in the other room, Demetrius, you step into this room, whereas like the main hall was well lit and bright and had all this activity of this like music and everything. Silence echoes so loudly you could hear the skittering of rat across the floor. As you step into the room, one dim torch lights up the whole opposite wall, where you see 7 people strung up by their hands with their blood being drained out of them. And that's where we'll end our session. Jax, last we left you, you were hanging upside down in this cave. Heat is sweltering. You can just feel like palpable humidity. Sweat drips down your forehead. It's falling below you. You can see no evidence of fire in this room, but just like the weight of all these chains wrapped around you, and just like you almost feel like you're like in a volcano or something. Last we left you, Ares was taunting you with a dagger, and Apollo had just stepped out of the shadows in this blinding light. Go ahead and give me an insight check.
It's gonna be a 14.
14. The one thing you can think about Apollo is that the priest of Delphi, who that group that at least looked like the priest of Delphi, they were servants of Apollo. But you don't know if that was like a disguise that they had pulled, or if that was the actual people. Apollo steps in and says, "Ooh, man, pissing off the war god. I would not have recommended that."
Jax just kind of takes a deep breath, closes his eyes, and just keeps his faith.
Well, we got a couple big boy business things to attend to, so I think, Ares, we should just leave him here, let him sweat it out for a little bit. Ares is like, he like cuts you one more time with the dagger, says, "I'll be back, little buddy. Don't you worry." And he like, he like throws his dagger and like just sticks, like, whereas like a normal dagger would just like stick into the ground, like in the tip, his dagger like sticks all the way up to the crossguard. As he throws it in the ground, this is they leave. You can't really get a sense of how long it is. Eventually,
So before we go on, can I make an insight check to see if like our pact has been broken, or if
yeah,
it's still like, or if we're still pretty connected?
yeah. Go ahead and make either insight or religion.
Okay. So they do religion, because I'm proficient in religion. It's gonna be a 19.
You actually do not feel like your pact is broken. You get the sense that he's upset, he's a little frustrated, has some anger issues, but has not decided to like completely sever ties with you just yet. If that makes sense.
So still feeling that during that entire time, Jax is alone. He's just gonna keep praying, keep his faith a little bit. Hopefully, Ares sees that he's like didn't like piss him off like intentionally. Like it was more just kind of unintentional, just being frustrated, trying to learn something with Ares being the way he is.
You sit in or hang as you're for, you know, hours, days. You can't tell realistically. When you hear like what sounds like a door open and close, and a woman's voice say, "Oh, you poor sweet thing. I guess this is where he keeps his new toy. No wonder he's spending a little less time with me." Walking out of like the shadows where this doorway is would be like a 6 foot tall human woman, long flowing blonde hair, but the hair is kind of like chromatic and reflective. Like each step she takes, it like changes colors from like a blonde to a pink to like a blue to a silver to a brown, but like mainly blonde. But like you don't know if it's like delirium or whatever. Like the hair is like changing colors. She wears a like very skimpy top that's blue and like a light blue, like a dark blue and a light blue kind of mixed into one, and like a short toga skirt. She comes up to you and says, like bends down so her face at your face, and says, "Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry he does this to you."
Aphrodite?
In the flesh.
Huh. Never would have thought I would meet
Oh,
you.
well, you know, I like Aries. Sometimes it's fun for me to check in on his hobbies. And she like pokes the chains and you like swing back and forth a little bit.
Why are you even here?
Do you want the truth?
Kinda?
I spend all my time fucking Aries so he calms down and doesn't behave like a maniac. Okay? So I need the people he trusts, the people that he's close to kind of stroke his ego a little bit. He has some problems, and like as she reaches out and touches your face, and like you can feel your body kind of like rejuvenate a little bit, like you feel it getting better. She says, he has some problems, but you know, it's much better that he's on our side and not somebody else's. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind if you ever get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, he's been there in my darkest days for me, so never meant to piss him off. It was more just bubbling frustration that kind of took out on everybody, and it pissed him off the most, so.
Hey. I hear you, I see you, I understand that. He needs a little extra attention. A little extra care in these type of things, okay? I know you didn't mean to. I heard about what happened. It's a tense situation. I get it. I don't want to see you tortured. I don't want you up here. I don't want him spending all his time here, fucking with you. I'd rather him spend his time with me. Or doing something else that's actually productive. But no. But can you help me to help you?
It depends on what it is. I mean, if it's just stroking his ego, I'm probably one of the best at it. I mean, other than you, obviously, but
That forest you went into and said there was nothing.
yeah.
You went back.
Yeah.
So, would you mind enlightening me on what nothing is? No?
Well, but nothing was just a safe place to hide. I mean, the dense forest there, we couldn't find what it was that was in there, but it was magical in nature. But that forest, it was just so dense and so packed that the Athenians probably couldn't track us when we went in there, and we just thought it would be a safe place to gather ourselves.
Give me a deception check.
Oh, fuck, I forgot my charisma was so bad on Jax. Oh, God. Natural 20.
You're fucking kidding me. That's the only way you would succeed, is if you rolled a natural 20. However, you can see Aphrodite is not the fool that Ares is.
Yeah.
You're not telling me the truth. Yeah, I know you found something there. You had no reason to go back there, based off what I've seen and what I've heard. Did Ares tell you what we were looking for?
No.
Our little sister Artemis is gone missing. Pretty sure she's hiding in that forest based off the fact that no gods can enter there. Our magic can't penetrate it.
I mean, when I went in there, I did definitely feel my connection to Ares weaken a lot. But we didn't find anything. We found a stump that was like, had a cage in it, and that was it.
What was in the cage?
We couldn't tell. We didn't open it.
Make another deception check.
18.
She reaches out her hand on you, and you feel compelled to tell the truth that you saw the bow, like the magic glowing bow in the stump.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't get a quite good look at it, but I could tell it was a weapon of some sort.
A bow, perhaps?
Maybe? I think? Honestly, all of this being chained up for how long, God knows long, my memory's kind of a little fuzzy.
Oh, you poor thing. It's okay. I know what you found in that forest. Or maybe didn't find, but I know. I'm smart enough to know it's there. I'm sure you figured this out by now, but not all Olympians are nice or good, per se.
I've known that for a while.
But I'm one of the good ones, so if you have a secret, you can tell me. I'm not trying to hurt you. I actually don't want you chained up here. I want you returned to your friends because stopping the eclipse is very important. But
I mean, I have nothing to hide other than the stuff that I've been going through. Like, I can't shake it, but there's a feeling that Apollo is in on it somehow. I don't know if Ares is connected because him and Apollo came in and saw me before they left. But the priests of Apollo, I don't know if it was a disguise or it was actually them. They're the ones that took the king.
thank you for sharing. And she walks out of the room. And that's where we'll end. Okay, everybody, thank you for tuning into episode 9 of the Epic of Idiots Rolling Dice. This was a fun session. Sorry, Daisy couldn't make it, but unfortunately, life happens sometimes, and that is the case. So, this was our first episode that we live streamed on YouTube. I haven't gone back and watched the footage yet, but hopefully it went pretty well. And it was usable. If things change, maybe it'll go back to Twitch, but for the foreseeable future, the live streams of the sessions are going to be on YouTube from now on, along with all the cut down videos at the end. So that's good for that. Obviously, thank you for tuning in. My name is Mimic. I am the DM for this whole game, storyteller, all that shit. It's the guy who sucks at rolling. I am joined by Daisy Kick's not here tonight. who plays Talia, Jimmy, who plays Jay Dragonborn, Play, who plays Demetrius Slungwing, and Vax, who tonight was playing Alexos. So next week, I think we're actually going to be off again, unfortunately, as I have somewhere to be on that day. Schedule's going to be a little weird for the month of October. We'll probably only have 2 sessions for the entire thing, but that'll be okay. And maybe if the team feels like it without me on one of the nights, they could get together and play as well. I will pitch that idea to them. But yes, that is good stuff. We thank you for being here. Hope you all have a good night or day whenever you're listening to this.